It was at the orchard, the Los Angeles orchard with Lillian, Gish, and we're doing that project where
Project X.
Yeah, it was kind of like a Project X.
Yeah.
It was that sort of dangerous.
That party was insane.
I know, it was as insane as the Project X party. And what we're doing is we're going up on the ladders to the pear. We were in the pear section, and putting stickers on the pears that say like poison GMOs and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like an art statement, sort of about like, well, this is actually what these
an
are.
art statement,
poison GMOs.
and you get first pick of all the pears.
Oh, we're taking the good ones.
Yeah.
Yes, and so the nasty ones with worms we're saying these have poison GMOs, and we are. I'm going so fast that I don't even have to go up and down the ladder. I can just kind of walk the ladder from tree to tree. But then who shows up? A farmer, of course. And so the farmer's there, and he's like, "Hey, stop doing this." And I was like, "Hey, do you actually even
say
know?"
It like that, does he? Do his voice.
Okay. He's like, "Hey guys, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing up in the trees? Stop doing that."
This is farmers.
Yes, these farmers. They all sound like that. And I'm like, well, do you actually even know what these are? Like what these GMOs, like what the deal is? And he was like, no, I'm actually really ignorant about this. Like, he wasn't saying it like that, but like how he was talking, like that's what was like coming across. Yeah. I don't know what this stuff is, and this is actually my job, and I haven't educated myself on it. So I'm like, well, GMOs are these gene manipulation objects where they come with this genome.
Yeah.
That will infect your personal genome. They send a scout genome to lay eggs in your genetic code. And they can manipulate your genes and turn parts of you into pears.
Well, and we see these pear people walking around. Yep. I mean, some of these Kardashians. You know what I mean? And it's not, and I'm not trashing them. But they're obviously sharing some genetic material with a pear. Because if you look at just the top versus how the sort of bottom part of them comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a main one of them that I'm thinking of that it's pretty stark, the contrast.
Yeah.
And it does remind one, you know, of this particular fruit.
Yeah. And you watch the show and there's fruit. Basically every scene they're eating a pear.
Let me finish. A peach. But if you look at the whole picture, a pear.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Yeah, they're eating pears every scene.
They're eating pears and peaches in every scene.
Yeah.
And it's laying eggs in them and it's turning them into the fruit.
And Kanye's coming in like, hey, I got more pears.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, thanks, Kanye.
I think he's into that stuff.
And then he leaves. And then I'm going, is he working for the pears? You know? Because it's not totally clear where his alignments are. I'm just saying, this is not, please don't grab this clip out of context and post it on every blog. There's this big conspiracy now. Oh, Sean and Hayes say Kanye works for the pears. Okay? That's not what we're saying.
We're saying we don't know.
We're noticing some things. We're saying we don't know. We're noticing some things that make it worth asking the question.
And it would be crazy to say that we know in the same way that it's crazy for you to say that you don't know.
Yeah, no. For you to go, hey, I know.
God is like that too, actually.
Certainty is the real enemy here. Okay? That is what burns my hot cross
Oh, you
buns.
were there? You know exactly what happened because you were there and you saw the whole thing and you know all the information? I don't think so.
You saw him have a meeting with a pear, or in the case of God, you saw him create the oceans through his tears? It's like, no, you didn't see that. So I think that probably what happened is he stubbed his toe, started crying so hard that it made the oceans, and you think whatever you think. And neither one of us knows.
And no way to say the way you think is wrong.
And I'm not saying I'm totally right. I'm saying this actually makes the most sense if you look at any book. But forget it.
Hi, welcome to Hollywood Handbook, an insider's guide to kicking butt and dropping names in the red carpet line back hallways of the industry we call showbiz. And we burned the orchard, and he was agreed to after that because he saw that he had been wrong.
And did you see anyone just like watching from behind a tree being like, oh no?
When you
burned
the orchard.
when you set it on fire.
Yeah, there were a bunch of people. Almost every tree had someone behind it saying like,
oh no.
This is really bad for us.
This is the opposite. Yeah, well, it makes you think. But we're not saying anything. Please don't put this on these blogs. Sean said this. I can't.
But if you put it, you have to put this other stuff too.
If you want to put the whole thing.
Put
and
the whole
link
show
and
on.
link to the show.
Yes, and review it.
And review it on iTunes. 5 stars, please. And subscribe.